Hi guys, welcome back. In the last video tutorial I showed you how to use the admin area options in the Premium Press theme to create your very own child theme and take a replica of the current site setup to create that. Now I'm going to explain a little bit more about the actual directory setup for your child theme, and we'll work a little bit on the styling options for your child theme. So if we look at the actual directory folder of your WordPress installation, so as we can see, this is the WordPress core file options. All of the themes, as you know, are stored under WP content and under themes. Now, as you can see, we've got the core theme, which in this case is DT, so which stands for directory theme, and our newly created child theme, which is template blue directory. So if we just open this up, we can have a quick look about what's inside. We have a functions file, a screenshot, and a style.css file. So functions is where we store all of the PHP scripting, and if I just open this up, we can see at the top we have a constant defined as child theme, and that equals true, and this basically tells the actual core system that we are running a child theme along with the system. We have a function called child theme underscore design changes, and inside of this function are all of the actual design changes that we saved as part of the child theme. Scrolling down to the bottom, we have another function called after switch theme, and what that does is it works along with the changes along with the design change function at the top to save all of the design changes when we reactivate our child theme. And at the bottom we have this small function which is enabled when we use the demo option, which is basically just for our demo website purposes. So basically the actual functions file just stores all of the settings for our main website, so that when we activate our child theme, the settings are reapplied to the website. If we go back to the directory, then we have a screenshot, and obviously this is just a screenshot for your child theme. So if you wanted to customize your screenshot, you can obviously adjust it there. And we have a style.css, and obviously it's very similar to the functions file. This stores all of the styling options. So if we open this, okay, we have what we saved, which was the name, theme name, which is blue directory, theme author, which is off the website, a description, your author, which is taken from the email address in your accounts, the author's website, which is obviously your website, the template, which is DT, because obviously our primary theme installed, back to the themes, is DT, so that needs to match the same folder name there, and the version, which is 1.0. So obviously you can customize this any way you like. You can go ahead and remove all of the styles, modify them any way you like, and obviously once you're happy with them, just obviously put them back, save your child theme, and it will work exactly the same way. There are obviously a number of different ways to customize a website, or any website that is, and obviously if you are a developer you probably have your own methods of doing so, but just for those that are a little bit unfamiliar, or those that maybe just starting out, a very useful tool is the browser inspection tool. So if you're using a browser that has that option, I know Firefox does, and I use Google Chrome, if you right click on any of the elements on your website, there is an inspection element. And obviously what that does is on the bottom left console, you can hover over the HTML element that you kind of want to use or want to inspect, and if you click on it on the right hand side, you'll see the CSS element for it. So as you can see here on the left, we've got this div panel heading, which is on the top, you can see it's highlighted, and on the right we can see the CSS. So we can see the background color is a grey. If I click on the color, I could change that to a different color, and then if I just decided, okay, that's great, that's just what I wanted, I could just copy that and then save that into my styles file, save it at the bottom, so that obviously it's saved now as part of my child theme. So if I refresh the page, it's now saved, and it'll be continue to be saved until I removed it. So it's just a very useful way of customizing the website, and especially useful for those kind of small and tricky bits of code that you can't quite get from the admin or get from anywhere else. The browser inspection tool can really help you out a lot there. So that's the basics of the styling options. I mean, obviously you can take it and you can go any way you like with it. I mean, obviously there's 101 different styling options you can do. You can have background images, background colors, you know, etc., etc. So I'll leave that in your very capable minds. What we can use next, if we look at back, or what I would suggest, there is obviously a lot of documentation on our Premium Press website. Under the support, if you click on support and click on documentation, you'll get all of the actual latest documentation. The key elements, obviously, if you're customizing the website, it'll be the hooks and filters. So you can use some of the layout hooks to customize the options here, page hooks, etc. Now, obviously, I don't want to go into too much detail about layout hooks and page hooks, filters, etc., because those are very core elements of WordPress. So if you're unfamiliar how to use a hook or unfamiliar how to use a filter, there are a number of tutorials online to show you in great depth and great detail how to do that. But obviously for the use of theme options, if you're using our themes and you want to know how to hook elements, you can do that from the documentation. You can find the hook name, etc., and do that. The other option, obviously, which a lot of people do, is just open up the actual file itself. If we have a look, if we open up the actual core theme file, so if I go to DT, there we go, click on, say for example, header. Okay, you can see a lot of the hooks here. There's a hook here, it says the hook underscore wrapper before, hook on the wrapper after. So you can see some of the hook elements you want here. So if you're looking to specifically modify a certain element within a page, say for example a header or the footer, you can just open up the core file, have a look at if there's any hooks available, and then use those hooks. All of the normal WordPress hooks will work as normal. There's no changes made by the core theme. So if you're familiar with WordPress, then you should have no problems again using any of the core WordPress hooks. Okay, so now I want to quickly talk about some of the additional page options available. And when I say page options, what I mean is by creating additional files within your child theme to override the default file within the actual core theme. So let me explain. If we create a new PHP file and we add some random content, so testing 1, 2, 3, and we save that in our child theme folder as underscore, all of the additional page elements start with an underscore, homepage. Okay, if we now go to our child theme homepage and give it a refresh, you can see now we've got this testing 1, 2, 3. So what happens is, rather than using the core theme, because the core theme was detected that we have a homepage file within our child theme, it's decided to use that instead. So basically we could actually customize your theme, your child theme, using your own CSS, your own HTML elements, without having to actually use those from the admin area, etc. So if we add the basic hooks back from PHP, WordPress, right, the header and footer. Okay, so we've now got the actual core header and a core footer back, and as you can see now, obviously the content is in the middle. So that for our home page here, we've got the header and footer and our middle content, and this is obviously another very useful way of adding and creating child themes, because now you can obviously modify the entire home page just from the actual file itself. So we can now go ahead and start, adding some random content. We could just put some styles on it. We could text size is 100 and center it as well. So it's just another way of actually creating content for your homepage. Oops. Font size is 100. There we go. There we go. So you can see now we've got that home page, and you can use the documentation again to kind of find out what the names of the home page elements are. Under the left hand side, under the child theme, creating child themes, we've got this section about adding theme design files, and obviously it gives you an overview of how to use it. And as you can see here under the bottom, we've got homepage, which refers to the homepage which I just created, and you've got your own header, footer, page, single page, etc. Now I do give a kind of quick warning about creating header and footer. Previously I've seen a lot of people create child themes with a header and a footer, and then what happens is when we create additional header elements within the actual framework, obviously they don't understand why they haven't got that saved in their child theme. If you overwrite content, specifically the header and footer, in your child theme, then obviously it will not use anything that's found in the core framework. So you will lose any of the new features that we add into the core framework if you overwrite specific pages, such as the header and footer. So if we add new header options, then you'll lose those, because it's basically going to be using what's in your child theme, which may be a good thing and maybe a bad thing. Obviously, if you don't want anything to happen to your child theme, then that by all means you can use that. But just a quick warning, that's all. If you do decide to overwrite content, especially the header and the footer, then if we do create new options within the actual core framework, they may not display when you save your child theme. So that's just another way of creating content for your child theme. You just create a new file, give it the name, say for example homepage, and then you can add the content directly to that page instead. And that's very useful for working offline as well. It saves you a lot of time.